Moving on, let's talk about one of the newcomers, Benjamin Hall out of Michigan. Hit the portal. Didn't get a lot of burn at Michigan. Highly recruited. Trevor, I'm going to kick it to you. Let's talk a little bit about Hall.
Yeah, Benjamin, man, he's like a ground and pound guy. He's a big, I'd call him a bowling ball. Kind of reminds me of A.J. Dillon, if you guys remember, from Boston College. But he is a guy that really, I mean, he was highly recruited, running back out of Georgia. I believe he was like an Under Armour MVP from one of their camp. Like he was a guy that they thought would really take over the reins one day, and it just never really worked out. He had a bright spring practice for him, and there was a lot of potential that they saw right here, some of those spring clips. But he just never really took that big step forward. But there was some dudes in that room that he was behind. So I think he's a perfect a perfect addition to this room. Kind of a third down, short yardage guy, goal line guy. But he's built, man. He's 5'11", 235. So that's not a guy that I want to meet in the middle of the field. But I think he was a perfect addition. I believe with, like you said, we've got a lot of young guys in this room. We've got an older guy that hasn't been able to stay healthy. So I think we needed to add somebody, and Lombardi and Bill went out and they got a good guy. I think he comes in with a chip on his shoulder and a lot of potential for him as well. I believe he's got, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think 3 years left, right, Chris?
Yep. From my research and understanding, he's got 3 years of eligibility left. And Trevor mentioned it already, but just imagine the type of running, as you can see here on the film. He runs hard. He runs downhill. He's got some sneaky speed as well. But for the most part, so far throughout his career, from what I've seen, he's been a straight line runner, downhill, hard runner, 5'11", 235, coming downhill with the pads low. It's going to make you think twice. You're gonna have to really, if you're a defensive guy and you're trying to make a tackle on that, you're gonna have to take your angles just perfect, or you're gonna get ran over. Troy, do you got anything else to add on Hall?
Yeah, man, super excited for this this transfer portal get for this year. In a running back room that, at the beginning of the season was, really kind of concerning with the guys we had leave, and just the uncertainty around some injuries with some players. The staff brings in Benjamin Hall from Michigan, a very, very elite program. He's been around some very, very elite running backs, and Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards last year, a national championship winning program, so he knows what that looks like. And certainly just a guy from my aspect is good to have in the locker room. We talk about him playing on the field. I don't think he really played a whole lot at Michigan, which is no fault. I mean, when you get behind guys that are first round draft picks, and a guy in Donovan Edwards who's a really, really good running back, your opportunities are slim at some points, and which is totally fine. In today's landscape of college football, you don't like your situation, you go find a new one, and that's exactly what Benjamin Hall did. And we, as Carolina fans, just hope to reap the benefits of that. But a guy like you said, man, I watch his tape. He honestly, I mentioned Blake Corum. Blake Corum was 5'8". Benjamin Hall is 5'11". But just in the manner in which they run, they remind me a lot of each other. Be interesting to see how he handles pass blocking. But I mean, you look at that, being able to wait for the hole to develop, find the hole, hit it, and scamper off to the end zone for 6. I mean, that's very, very encouraging to see from a guy who last year, I mean, his stats: 29 carries, 72 yards. He averaged 2.5 yards carry. Very, very promising, and good to see him possess these tools. It's certainly something that you love to see from a running back that you got coming in, that you just haven't seen before. So super excited to have Benjamin on campus and in our running back room. I think he can be a big key contributor for us this year. And what, Trevor said earlier, a running back room that, in my opinion, will kind of be a running back room by committee. I think Benjamin Hall's got a chance to see the field quite a bit this year. It's just a matter of what he does with those opportunities and how he produces. So, me personally, super excited to have him. Great depth piece. Been around a great program, great head coach, been around other elite talent, knows what success is. And anytime you can get a guy like that into your program, it's great to have. So super, super excited to have him.
Yeah, all good thoughts there on Hall. It'd be interesting to see if he's able to put it all together as he makes the transition from Michigan to Chapel Hill. He was. Go ahead.
Certainly, the weather will be a lot better down here in North Carolina. I don't know, man. It's North Carolina. You can experience all 4 seasons in a week. I don't know if anybody told him that, but certainly it'll be a lot better than Michigan for sure.
Yeah, you got that right. Definitely in the wintertime. I don't want no part of that. But it'd be interesting to see if he's be able to put it all together. He was highly recruited. Coming out of college. I believe he's down from Georgia. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. He went to high school in Georgia, so
Yep.
certainly a lot closer to home, and that probably played a big decision in him and where he landed.
Yeah. Some of the offers, that I believe that, coming out Boston College, Wake Forest, Utah, Vanderbilt, South Carolina, I believe also was on that offer sheet. But everybody that's Benjamin Hall, a transfer from Michigan, find his way to Chapel Hill. Let's see what he's able to do with it, with this opportunity behind an offensive line that we believe that's has been retooled, but is also going to be a lot better. Maybe not a lot better, but definitely better from last year, we believe. But we're going to definitely get into that breakdown at a later date.
Hey, Tar Pit crew, thanks for hanging with us today. Quick shout out. Today's episode is powered by Untapped Sports Network. Big thanks to them for the support. If you like this episode, do us a favor. Like it, drop a comment, and share it with a friend. That kind of support goes a long way in keeping the podcast rolling. Make sure you're subscribed and following the Tar Pit podcast on whatever platform you're listening on right now. And don't forget to follow us on social. We're on X, formerly Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search the Tar Pit Podcast and you'll find us. Until next time, go Heels.